don't judge a book by the cover, because I'm a real good book. I love my family. I think everybody should be proud of where they're from. You should never be ashamed of your family or your religion, how you're brought up. And incorporate all those things into weaving a wonderful basket that you can carry the world in if you have to.
You ever experience self-doubt?
Oh, sure. Everybody does. People always say, are you always happy? I said, well, Lord, no. Who would want somebody always happy? That would not be a complete human being. You'd be very shallow, you know, with that. But no, I am one of those people that I was born with a happy heart, and I have a good attitude, and I work at it. You got to work at being happy, just like you work at being miserable, and some people are real good at that. Well, I think people get too caught up in all the bad things that's going on in this world, and they're failing to look around that there's still a whole lot of good. And some of the good that people can do is to try to find all the good and all the things that they can do to help lift people up instead of tearing them down. And I used to think, you know, that if I did make it good, if I did prosper the way that I had hoped that I would be willing to give back. I'm always trying to do something to better the world. And I'm as proud of the Imagination Library as anything that I've ever done. And that's where we give books to children from the time they're born. They get a little book a month with their little name on it so they can learn to, you know, to read and love books. And so I'm proud of that program, but I'm proud of anything that I ever do that can help mankind in any way. Years ago, I really was having some serious conversations with God.
What were those conversations?
I just said, you're going to have to give me some answers or I'm getting out of here.
How close did you get when you...
I don't know. I don't know how close I got. About the time I was writing my...
You were writing your suicide note? Or
I was thinking about it all. I don't mind telling that story because, of course, people make a big deal. They're just shocked at that. But I think it's good for people to know everybody goes through this kind of stuff. I do believe, though, God puts those things in my life, too, because then I could totally relate to how people do get on drugs or alcohol, how people do commit suicide, because when you're a tender, loving, caring, sensitive person, you feel like you can only stand so much heartache. Oh, I live my spirituality, you know. That's how you practice it mostly. You just live it and be it. A lot of people so overthink spirituality, you know, and therefore they think it has to be some big ritual. But the kingdom of heaven is inside. It's right inside of you, and you can draw from that wisdom, whether you call it God or higher wisdom or a higher knowing. There's something bigger than you. I just think you just need to claim it. As human beings, of course, you're allowed your own beliefs and your own faith or whatever, but you don't have to use that like a weapon when it could be a tool. You need to be paid for what you do. You need to be respected for what you do. You need to be appreciated for what you do. Whether you're a woman or a man, it doesn't matter about any of that. You just should be looked at as a human being and treated with respect. But it's more about being respected as a human being. We shouldn't be thought of as girl, boy, black, white, green, or blue. We should be appreciated and respected for who we are and what we have to give. Yeah. But if we have to fight for it, then we will.
You made your little speech at your high school graduation ceremony. You made a prediction. What did you say?
Well, actually, that was a pretty embarrassing moment. I got up when everybody was saying what they were going to do, like they were going to college or they were going to nursing school. And I said, I'm going to Nashville to be a star. And I was so honest and sincere. That's where I was going the very next morning. And everybody laughed. They were sniggering and laughing. And I thought to myself, I was very embarrassed and it hurt my feelings. And I, but that kind of, I thought, well, I have to be a star now because I have to show them that. Well, I don't know how brilliant I am as a businesswoman. I think this is a good way to explain it, that I am a very professional Dolly Parton. I can't tell anybody else how to do it. I just know what I have, and I feel I know what I can do with what I have. And I surround myself with smart people that can handle the stuff that I cannot handle, and to do the things I'm not qualified to do, and I know what those things are. That old saying of to thine own self be true, she tried to do that with all of us. She just said, be your own self, don't try to be what somebody else wants you to be. You just listen to your heart, you listen to what God tells you to do, and listen to me as much as you will, but be yourself. And so I think that that's followed me more than anything, is to be true to myself and follow my own heart.